Hey guys, I'm Say and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do something a little bit different. You know, we're in the middle of a Halloween, nothing's really going on, so why not? I'm not sure how many of you will this video even attract, but I have been wanting to make it for myself for quite a while now. I'm going to be making 6 Danganronpa V3 characters as Love Nikki avatars simply to honor my love and devotion for the series. Danganronpa is my favorite game of all time, specifically Danganronpa V3. It is a masterpiece that is, I believe, heavily misunderstood by a good chunk of fandom. However, I really appreciate it. The series has heavily impacted my life and the way I view certain things around me, so without further ado, let's have some fun. Since I'm going to be only making about 6 characters in this video, if you do for some reason want a part 2 and want me to make the rest of the characters, do let me know in the comments down below and I will get back to you. But quickly before we start, first I want to say, obviously, spoilers ahead. I'm going to be talking about the characters, giving my little opinions and tiny analysis as I am making them. So if you have not played this game, please click off this video and go play it right away. What are you doing with your life? Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, and another thing that I want to say is thank you Love Nikki Nightshade for helping me film this video. She helped me make 2 characters because I didn't have enough of pieces in my wardrobe for them. So thank you so much. So I am going to kick this off with one and only Kokichi Ouma because he is by far my favorite Danganronpa character and probably my favorite fictional character in general. So let's start this video with him. I don't really consider Ouma an antagonist per se. He more so antagonizes himself purposely in order to execute his plan. He was the only 100% focused on a killing game, putting the pieces together, gathering evidence and solving a lot of the things by himself, all while being fully isolated and fighting his own demons, which will be his demise in the end. He even picked up on the tiny bugs that Gonta was seeing. No one even considered that this may be important. He's very attentive and observant and pretty much a walking lie detector. Every single one of his lies was very carefully told in order to lead everyone towards the truth and unite them. His method was to make everybody cooperate but make Monokuma think that they were fighting instead. Forcing everybody to watch the motive videos in the 2nd chapter is a very great example of Kokichi really wanting to cooperate but also being afraid of Monokuma, so he came up with a cooperating plan that is going to prevent the murder but still make it look like they're fighting and working against each other. Sadly, none of the characters ever pick up on this and they just assume that he's causing trouble for no reason. Everything he did was with good intentions. Now, whether the decisions he made were good or bad is up for a huge debate. Kokichi's mental health deteriorated in chapter 4 after finding out the secret of the outside world, leading him to desperately try to prove it to be fake and sacrificing Gonta in the process. I feel that if anybody tried to reach out to him like they did with Maki, it definitely would have saved him. But he's one of the most intelligent Danganronpa characters who has so many layers to him. He's a beautiful little never-ending puzzle that will keep me thinking about him long into the future. If you want me to make a detailed analysis on him, let me know in the comments down below. The second character that we're going to be making is none other than Shuichi Sahara. He is my second favorite character in V3 and my favorite protagonist, so let's do it! Sahara. Sahara is one of my favorite Danganronpa characters. I definitely enjoyed playing as a detective. It finally made so much sense why everybody was leaning on the protagonist for the solution, because he was a detective. It made little sense with Makoto and Hajime for me, but yeah. Sahara was the most interesting protagonist, but there is also another way that you can interpret him, and I feel that both are valid in my opinion. There are a lot of subtle hints that he may just be the ultimate liar himself. Now, this is just a theory, but Shuichi drops a lot of the hints of not wanting the killing game to end, and you know, throughout the whole game it happens. Now, I have a whole theory where I go in depth about it, but this video is not a place for it. He doesn't try to stop it at all. After the 1st chapter, he rejects Ouma when he offers to help him save everyone, which I guess is understandable. Ouma wasn't exactly trustworthy at this point, but as a detective, I feel like he should have been neutral when finding the truth. He exposes his plan, knowing what his goal is, dooming Kaito in the process, and his reaction to the killing game ending in chapter 5 is very odd. He says, "The killing game is over. There is nothing else I can do. What a boring story." Now, I just find this very out of the character for Sahara. Now, I'm not saying that he's evil or anything, but if you do want to play with this theory, then you've been given plenty of clues to do so. This is another reason why I really love V3, and you know, it just kind of lets your imagination run wild since nothing is really certain. We are moving on with Tamugi Shirogane because why not? I didn't really find Tamugi interesting on my first playthrough. She very excessively uses the word plain whenever she can. She's not really helpful in any way, and I did not get a single reference she made throughout the game.
What Gilgamesh level condescension? But which Grail war are you from?
Wow, another reference we don't get. You must be a hardcore loser.
Sorry about that. That didn't happen. I found it hilarious how in chapter 6, Junko, quote-unquote, refers to Tamugi and says, "I apologize to her fans, if any of you even exist out there," further prying just to show us how plain and uninteresting she is. However, as I watched the game more and more, after initially completing it myself, I began appreciating her character a lot more. She drops quite a few hints that she's the mastermind, and if you pay very close attention, she is the one who quite often derails the conversation and changes the topic when she feels like her plan is in potential danger. I also definitely chose not to believe her in the end with the whole fictional character thing. I do think she's lying and that there are plenty of clues that support this theory as well. She's still not one of my favorite characters, but she's certainly not at the bottom either anymore. I do love her character design. She does wear a very plain outfit, but she kind of pulls it off. The colors are nice and she has a really pretty face. Sadly, I can't find her exact hair in my wardrobe. I don't have it, but let's just pretend that she has curled her hair a little bit, you know, like a little beach wave or something. So this is the closest that I can get, and I'm almost done with her outfit pretty much. The shoes are the only thing left, and then I believe the glasses. She was very fun to make and probably the easiest one on this whole list. I like her much more than I like Junko. Okay, I'm not a big fan of Junko at all. She isn't way over the top, and I enjoyed a nice throwback to all of the characters during the final trial. Notice how she never cosplays as Kokichi or Kaito? Maybe they're not fictional after all. We are going to be moving on with Rontaro Amami, the ultimate hottest Danganronpa character. I don't care what anybody else says. Rontaro Amami, probably everybody's favorite character at the start of the game. He's mysterious, he's very handsome, probably the most handsome character in the whole series for me. Okay, I simp. And he seems to be very smart. He doesn't remember his talent, he gives you major Kamaida vibes which automatically make you think that he's going to stick around at least till chapter 5. He is the only one who seems to recall some of the memories the ones, other students lost. He was the only one who had me hooked in the first chapter. Everything revolved around him. The way they set him up is to make you think that he's either going to be Kamaida or Kyoko of V3, and then boom, just like that, he's the first one to die. And after that, you're just kind of left with this empty feeling of what now? Like the center character is gone. What's happening? I felt so sad at the time that my favorite character died right away that I just took a break from the game. I needed some time to get back into it, and I hadn't really established a connection to anybody else, by this point. However, halfway through chapter 2, Ouma just grabbed me, he pulled me right through the screen, and he was like, "No, you get back here, you're in for a ride." And just like that, V3 became my favorite game, not only in the series, but of all times. Now, they do bring Rontaro back at the end of chapter 3 just in case you somehow forgot that he exists, even though he was probably on your mind the whole time as a massive question mark. And finally, his secret is revealed in chapter 6. He's the ultimate survivor of the previous killing game, or the ultimate adventurer, which is what his original talent is. It didn't shock me, but it was very satisfying. I love his character design, I love his voice, Johnny Young Bosch. Yes, okay, I love him. So yeah, this is the final result. The next character I'm going to be making is Maki Harukawa. She is one of my favorite V3 girls, and I think my favorite girls in Danganronpa in general, so let's go! At the start, Maki presents herself as an ultimate child caregiver. She gives off this mysterious, almost an evil vibe, like you can't really trust her.
If the culprit is among that group, then wouldn't Maki be the most suspicious? Just look at her. She can definitely kill someone.
She's silent, she doesn't seem interested in anyone until Kokichi exposes her real talent at the end of chapter 2. The ultimate assassin. But this is where her arc begins. This is where we see Maki begin to change. Thanks to Kaito and Shuichi, she begins relaxing and opening up, and we start learning quite a lot about her. How she did not choose to be an assassin, all the torture she underwent during the training. We learn a lot about her childhood friend who essentially was the reason that she became an assassin in the first place. She wanted to protect her and also make sure that the orphanage she grew up in keeps getting the support. Maki slowly takes down her mask and even allows love to fill her heart for the first time ever, which we find out at the end of chapter 5 when she confesses her love to Kaito. We see another side of Maki during the 5th trial when she's determined to sacrifice the entire group, including Shuichi and herself, just to let Kaito escape. Now, what I believe this is the assassin and the newfound love within Maki fighting. She's ready to sacrifice everybody because human life does not mean much to her anymore, but she's also willing to do all of that to save the one that she loves. I thought the side of Maki was very interesting, but overall, she's definitely one of my favorite characters. We are going to finish it off with Himiko Yumeno, which is another one of my favorite girls in Danganronpa V3, so let's have fun with this little mage. Alright, so I actually really like Himiko. I think she's super cute, and I know that a lot of people dislike her simply for being useless, but there is that one useless survivor in every Danganronpa game though, isn't it? In the first one, it's Hagakure, and in the second one, for most people, I guess it's Kazuichi, but for me, it's Sonia. Like, why are you still here? We have lost some amazing characters, and you're still here. And in V3, I guess it's Himiko, but I do find her very entertaining, especially after her character development arc, if you can even call it that. Like, she just kind of starts screaming more after chapter 3, but she is really funny. Trial 5 in particular was very emotionally heavy for me. I struggled to play it and keep calm because I really bonded with Ouma. I believed in him from the start. I don't really like Kaito. Like, Kaito is one of my least favorite characters, but I was Kaito for Kokichi in this chapter. I believed in him, and you know, it was just very painful to play that trial, you know, from the perspective of the characters who don't really understand him, and Himiko made that much easier for me with her witty, funny, hilarious comments. She kind of relaxed me in the moments when I needed to be relaxed, and I appreciate her for that. I like her voice, I love her design, and she wasn't entirely useless, you guys. She discovered the hidden passageway in the bathroom in chapter 6, which was that one piece of evidence they needed to nail down Tamugi as the culprit of the very first case. So yeah, you go, Himiko! And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video enough, and if you want me to make a part 2 where I am making more characters, please let me know in the comments down below and I will respond. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.